Welcome to Frontline Influence. I'm Nick. I've spent over a decade leading on the front line, and I know exactly what it takes to get results in the real world. No corporate fluff, just practical leadership, accountability, and communication skills for those of us on the ground. This is how we lead from the front. And welcome to Frontline Influence, the podcast dedicated to leaders standing in the gaps, ones managing the teams, the customers, and the chaos every single day. I'm your host, and today we are tackling the one thing every leader wishes they had more of: time. We've all been there. You start your shift with a clear plan, and within 15 minutes, an equipment failure, a call out, and 3 quick questions have completely hijacked your day. By the time you look up, it's 5 p.m., you're exhausted, and the most important things on your list are still sitting there untouched. Today we're moving beyond simple to-do lists. We're talking about the art of prioritization and mechanics of time management. We'll cover why this is the secret weapon of the most effective leaders, 5 actionable strategies to transform your workflow, and real-world examples of how to apply them. Let's get into it. I'm going to start off with the high cost of chaos. Why does time management matter? It's not just about being organized or having a clean desk. For a frontline leader, time management is a matter of respect. Respect for your team, your mission, and your own mental health. When a leader lacks prioritization, the team feels it first. It creates a reactive culture. If you are constantly putting out fires, your team is constantly waiting for you to tell them what's next. This creates a bottleneck. Work slows down, stress levels go up, and eventually, your people burn out because they feel like they're running a race with no finish line. But when you master your time, you move from being a reactive manager to a proactive leader. You stop reacting to the loudest noise and start responding to the most important goal. You create stability. Now we're going to dig into the 5 strategies for frontline prioritization. So how do we actually do it? Let's look at proven frameworks tailored for a high-pressure environment of leadership. Starting off with the Eisenhower matrix, urgent versus important. This is the gold standard of time management. It forces you to categorize every task into 4 quadrants based on urgency and importance. The first quadrant is where you're going to place things that are urgent and important. These are your firefighting tasks, crises, deadlines, immediate safety issues. Quadrant 2 is not urgent but still important. This is the growth quadrant: strategic planning, relationship building, and team training. Quadrant 3 is where we hold urgent but not important. These are interruptions, most emails, some meetings, and other people's minor emergencies. And that takes us to quadrant 4, not urgent and not important. These are distractions, mindless scrolling, busy work, or over-perfecting a minor report. Your goal is to spend as much time as possible in quadrant 2, not urgent but important. If you spend most of your time in quadrant 2, that means that more of your focus is on important and not urgent things like training your staff and fewer urgent and important things. Here's an example. Imagine you have a team member who constantly struggles with a specific software. The reactive approach, living in quadrant 3, would be you just do the task for them every time they ask, because it's faster. Remember, quadrant 3 is urgent but not important. It's urgent that it needs to get done, but it isn't important for you to be the one doing it. The leader approach, getting you back into quadrant 2, would be blocking off 30 minutes on a Tuesday to properly train them. It costs you 30 minutes now, but it saves you 10 hours over the next month, allowing you to live in not urgent but important. Next, we're going to talk about the 80-20 rule. The Pareto principle states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your activities. The strategy: look at your task lists. Which 2 items on that list of 10 will actually move the needle in your team's performance today? Those are your vital few. Everything else is the useful many. Here's an example. Suppose you manage a retail store. You could spend 3 hours perfectly aligning the labels on the back shelves. The 80% effort for 20% impact. Or you could spend 20 minutes coaching your staff on a new sales technique. The 20% effort for 80% impact. True leaders find the 20% and protect it fiercely. Number 3, time blocking and the power hour. The biggest enemy of a frontline leader is the open door policy, taken to an extreme. If anyone can interrupt you at any second, you will never achieve deep work. Strategy? Schedule time blocks for specific types of work. Specifically, I recommend a power hour at the start of your shift where you tackle your most difficult, brain-heavy tasks before the daily chaos begins. Here's an example. A shift supervisor might block 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. for scheduling and reporting. During this time, they put on headphones or close the office door. They've communicated to the team, unless it's a safety emergency, hold your questions until 9. This prevents the stop-start energy drain that kills productivity. Number 4, eat the frog. Mark Twain famously said that if you eat a living frog first thing in the morning, nothing will happen to you for the rest of the day. The strategy? We all have that one task we dread. The difficult performance review, the complex budget spreadsheet, the awkward phone call. We tend to push these to the end of the day, but that frog sits on your shoulder all day, draining your mental energy. Here's an example. You need to give a corrective feedback session to a talented but late employee. Instead of letting it ruin your mood all day, make it the very first thing you do. Once the frog is eaten, you'll feel a surge of momentum and relief that carries you through the rest of the day. Number 5, strategic delegation. The who, not the how. Many leaders struggle with time because they think that they are the only ones who can do the things the right way. This is a trap. The strategy, when a task lands on your desk, ask, is this a leader-level task or is this a growth opportunity for someone else? If it's the latter, you should delegate it. Here's an example. You need to organize the inventory closet. You could do it yourself in 2 hours and ensure it's perfect, or you could delegate it to a high-potential employee, giving them ownership of a small project. You just freed up 2 hours of your own time and built confidence in a team member. Now we're going to move on to section 3 of this episode, overcoming the frontline friction. I hear some of you thinking, that sounds great in the classroom, but you don't know my workplace. It's too chaotic for time blocks. You're right, the frontline is unpredictable, but that is exactly why these systems are necessary. Without a system, the chaos wins 100% of the time. With a system, chaos only wins 20% of the time. One tip for the chaos factor is the buffer zone. Never schedule 100% of your day. If you have an 8-hour shift, only plan 5 hours of it. Leave the other 3 hours as a buffer for the inevitable questions, crises, and walk-ins. If you plan every minute, you're setting yourself up for stress of falling behind before lunch. Now, we've covered a lot today, so let's do a quick recap. We suggested using the Eisenhower matrix. Distinguish between what is truly important and what is just loud. Focus on quadrant 2 to prevent future fires. Apply the 80-20 rule. Find the 20% of your tasks that create 80% of your team's success. Do those first. Time block your day and create a power hour for your most important work and protect it. Eat the frog. Do the hardest, most uncomfortable task first to clear your mental deck. Delegate. Stop asking, how can I do this, and start asking, who can learn from doing this? So here's my challenge for you this week. Look at your to-do list for tomorrow. Identify the frog, the one task you've been putting off. Commit to doing it in the first hour of your shift. Don't check your email, don't grab a second coffee. Just eat the frog. When you control your time, you control your influence. When you aren't rushed and stressed, you are more patient with your team, more present for your customers, and more effective as a leader. Thank you for tuning in to Frontline Influence. If this episode helped you, share it with a fellow supervisor who might be feeling the burn. Till next time, keep leading from the front.